Welcome. You know, the topic I'm going to talk about today is all over YouTube, it's all over Facebook and the internet. And I knew it was only going to be a matter of time before it showed up on my channel. And that topic is, should I bring my Filipino wife or girlfriend to my country? Well, it just all depends. That's a personal choice, number one. You know, number two is some guys, they don't have a choice. They're not retired yet. They're not financially able to just move over here and get married and, you know, and relocate to the Philippines. So they have to take their wife or their girlfriend back with them. I mean, it's common sense, okay? So the question really shouldn't be, should I bring my wife or my girlfriend back to my country? The question should be, do I pose, what risk? Am I running any risk? What risk am I running by bringing my wife and girlfriend back to my country? That should be more of the question. And I'm going to address it today like I address everything else. I'm going to give you the nitty gritty. And that's what I'm seeing, what I'm living, and what I'm experiencing. And all three above apply to this subject in my life. I'm not going to tell you something I don't know anything about. But I'm going to put this disclaimer out here. To the degree that I'm going to talk about this today, it doesn't apply to the overwhelming majority of Filipinos when they come over there. Alright? I'm not generalizing anything. I'm not putting anybody down. But they asked me the question, and I'm going to give you my answer. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to walk on the eggshells with it. I'm not going to tiptoe around it. If a Filipina that grows up in the Philippines her whole entire life comes to America, she's going to change. Now, to what degree? It just depends on her personality. But they all change, ladies and gentlemen, to some degree. Some more than others. And it usually happens the minute they get off the plane. But let me go back 1 minute. See, one thing I really admire about Filipinos, period, is this. Their ability to assimilate into the country that they move to. See, Filipinos are all over the world. They live in, they're working, they're thriving all over the world. And they have just, I mean, the ability to just slide in a country and just disappear, to get swallowed up, and they'll assimilate. So when they come to America, I mean, like, what's the easiest country in the world on this planet to assimilate? It's America, obviously. All right, so if you're like me, and I'm taking you're like me, I'm going to take it that you came over here because you had grown tired of the women over there, the relationships over there, so you came over here to get, you know, to find something different, didn't you? Well, in a very short time, what's going to happen, she's going to become a Filipina American. All right, because it's not like over here in the Philippines. See, Filipinos leave you alone over here. They're not going to bother you. They're not going to make you learn the language. They're not going to make you learn their traditions and all of that, like what happens when they go to America. See, when foreigners go to America, man, we make them speak the language. You better learn English over there. You better start celebrating Thanksgiving. And, you know, Filipinos have no idea what Thanksgiving is. But when they get over there, they're celebrating Thanksgiving, the 4th of July, and all that other stuff like that. You see, before long, the very things that you didn't like about American women, American relationships, it's going to apply to your own relationship. But let me get, I'm off the subject a little bit. Let me get back on the subject. So it starts the minute she gets off the plane. Her hair is on fire. She's excited. She's finally in America, this place she's been dreaming about and hearing about her entire life. And what you're going to do, because you're a good guy, you're one of us, you're going to do everything you can to make her transition smoother and easier. See, because you've already sacrificed, you've already spent the money to get over there, you've already done all that hard work. Some of us, not me, but some of us, we even hire a lawyer to do the visa. That's extra money. So she gets over here, you're doing everything you can. The first thing you do, which turns out to be your first mistake, because here's where the problems start. is you find the Catholic Church in your area, the one where they have a Filipino mass once a month. See, it's in every city, okay? This is where all the Filipinos come and congregate, from the richest to the newest. They come there, they worship, and after that, everybody brings food, they socialize, they eat food, they go home, and then they do it next month. Well, this is where she meets a lot of people. But out of those people, what's going to happen is she's going to carve out a niche of 5 or 6 women that's going to become her clique. And guess what? This clique is going to become more influential in her life than you are. Yeah. You've heard of the Jordan rules, right? Remember when Michael Jordan was playing basketball and the Detroit Pistons came up with a way to stop him? They came up with the Jordan rules. Well, I invented something. So if you hear it anywhere else, it comes from me. It's called the Filipina rules. And this is just this old jacked up strategy that the veteran Filipinos that's been over there for a while, they sit the newbie down and they give her this strategy. And I'm not going to go over it all. I'm going to just, in a general way today, because I'm going to do a whole video on it. It's real deep, it's real powerful, but they start talking to her about just in case. Things to do just in case. See, because the first thing they tell her when she gets over here is, you got a voice over here now. You don't have to put up with stuff like you did at home. See, because Filipinos, they don't have a voice over here. They better not speak up against the government over here. They would never think to stand up to their husbands over here. Okay, you better keep your head down to the grindstone, work, take care of the kids, cook, do your part, and make the best of it, which they do over here. But when they get to America, see, they tell them first thing, girl, you got rights over here. You powerful over here. And they run it down to her. You know, it's just part of the Filipino rules, you know. And then another thing they tell them is, just in case, you know, that y'all separate or divorce and you don't have the removal of conditions off your green card yet, here's what you do. You know, they start acting as these pseudo lawyers. I mean, because I'm going to tell you something about the support group that the Filipino has over in America. It's very, very powerful. That's why I always suggest that expats over here, see, we're totally different. We're Americans, you know. We don't want to come together like that. We're not that tight anymore like that. See, where if something happens to a Filipino over there, man, they rally around her, man. I mean, you know, she's going through a divorce, okay, you can stay with me. You need a job, okay, here's where they're hiring. I'm going to hire you. Just show up. See, but we don't have that over here. Hell, if I was to incur trouble or problems, financial problems over, they would laugh at me and they say, oh, you should have, you know, bought more money, you should have planned better. But no, they don't do that over there. And in a very, very short time, that clique becomes more influential over your wife or girlfriend than you. Remember, I told you America is the easiest country on the planet, and I argue with anybody, to assimilate into. And see, I mean, very, very soon they find out how easy it is to get a job, apartment, credit cards, a car. And pretty soon, they just like, oh, what I need him for? I don't need him. Okay, because remember that clique I told you about, some of their husbands are doctors, they're business owners. They got money, a lot more money than you got. So when they go over their house, they start looking around like, wow, look at this farm they live on. Or look at this big mansion they living in. And then when they get home, that 3,000 square foot house that you live in, it's not good enough anymore. See? They forget all about, they're living in a 15 square meter kubo up in the mountains in Naga City, Cebu. They forget all about that because see now that clique is in their ear. Oh yeah, you know, he ain't good enough for you. You should trade him in, get you somebody with some money over here. You know, see, I'm telling you what I know. My ex, who I got a son by, she beat me to the States. I was over on vacation, man. She beat me to the States. I was looking for her because I sent her some money for my son, and she never replied back. She, to thank you or nothing like that. So come find out, she was living in North Carolina. She married a guy, and I can't speak for his character. I don't know him. I'm just going by what she told me and what she showed me. He was a retired policeman or sheriff in North Carolina. Nice pension, nice house. He's been married a few times, but anyway, oh man, it wasn't long before, because she had the Filipino rules memorized. Wasn't long she kicked him to the curb and divorced him. I can show you, but I deleted it. If you don't believe me, ask my wife. She'll tell you. I got an email from her the other day. Oh, she's so happy. She's talking about how she's young, single, and free over in America now and can do everything she wants. This little timid, shy, beautiful human being that I met over here from the mountains of Naga City, Cebu, Lanus, has turned into this monster over in America, because that's what happens to some of them. It was a song when I was growing up that said, I created a monster out of a shy country girl. Well, see, that's the same thing that happens to some of the Filipinos, and some of us are to blame, because we liberate them before they even get over here sexually. We make them a little bit more independent by giving them money and stuff like that. But then when she finally gets over there in America, now, all of a sudden, she done forgot about all the sacrifices you made to get her over there. See, because I'm going to tell you something, I'm never going to sugarcoat it. I'm always going to tell you like it is. In this culture, there's two things that they don't have here that we have over there. One is appreciation, and one is consideration. Okay, Filipinos, I don't care how much you do for them. They're not going to appreciate it. Okay, and I argue with anybody about that. They come to expect you to do that kind of stuff. They're not going to appreciate it. You get them a visa, whether you should have did it. Yeah, I'm your girlfriend. I'm the mother. I'm the mother of your son, or whatever like that. They're not going to appreciate it. They're not going to appreciate the fact that you've taken them from practically the mud and put them on a damn pedestal. So do it from your heart. Don't do it expecting her to, appreciate that. Because I'm gonna tell you, I told you in my video yesterday, man. Filipinos over here, they're not meat, man. They're tough. They're tough as nails. You have to be tough over here to make it. They have an edge about them. But see, they're so good at hiding it. They're so good with self-control that you'll never see that until it's too late. See? So you pose that risk when you take her over there, and then pretty soon, next thing you know, she's dating somebody on your job or somebody in your neighborhood, because they move on really quick. See, this group, you're not going to spend much time with her anymore, because she always wants to be with the Filipino clique so they can talk the language. See? Because it's a powerful, powerful support group, guys. I don't have enough time to really discuss it, but yeah, you run a risk when you take your woman over there. When you take a Filipina out of her natural environment and you take her to America, man, you run all kind of risk of everything going wrong, because she becomes Americanized really, really fast. And this little woman, this little shy, timid, beautiful soul that you met in the province becomes a monster, becomes your worst nightmare. And they don't, and they have no consideration for your feelings after a while. So I'm gonna do a part 2 because I don't have enough time today. I'm doing my videos on my phone, and so I can't go in the settings, and so I can make it longer than 15 minutes. So I'm gonna do a part 2. Do you pose any risk? Absolutely. Would that happen to your girlfriend? I don't know. It depends on her personality. But thanks for stopping by. And if you're in America, it's late. Before you let your head hit the pillow, please help somebody. If you don't want them late grocery runs, you see somebody in the street, buy them something to eat. Give them something to drink. Give them a few dollars. If you're in the Philippines, we got the whole rest of the day to find somebody to help. Because if I don't know anything else, I know this one thing for sure. We help other people, we help ourselves. Stay COVID free, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.